Testing, testing. All right, so sound is good. All right, hi everyone. This is Judge Desire for Knowledge, and I'm out and about. But today I'm doing my On Legal Matters show. I'm still in North Carolina, you know, doing my travels. Nice place. But if you want to know about that, join me when I upload the snap videos I've created. I'm not finished yet on my experiences here in North Carolina. But for now and today, this is going to be about um, legal matters only. So check me out, like, share, subscribe. I do legal matters every end of the month. I'm a little late since I've been doing a lot of events, going out and trying to see what's the best places that I would like to be at and that I can experience and share with you. So that's why I'm out and about travels. Then I have Know Your Truth Real Talk, which will come back this weekend, maybe live, we'll see. And On Legal Matters is monthly at the end of the month. Like I said, I'm running late, so but I always come out with it, and it is what it is. Shorts as well as my grilling shorts, and check the description box for whatever else I've added or haven't added. So I'm letting you know now. So the holiday seasons, we tend to do a lot of stuff out here. Some people are saddened. Some people are just trying to get through their week, their day at work, all the partying of Christmas parties from work, family, friends. So I decided to put together some do's and don'ts to do while driving during the holiday season. This is not in any way or form legal advice. These are just suggestions. So please don't utilize it as something that is advice. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a judge. I just work in the system, um, and I know enough to actually help and guide because I work alongside police as well. And during the years that I have, I've learned a lot of stuff, and I try to share with you. I work alongside judges, so I try to share my experiences and what I've learned through the court system and bringing here life to you. So I'm Judge Desire for Knowledge. If you see me out there in North Carolina, come and say hi or hola. All right, so as we go through the holiday seasons, as I stated, we celebrate Christmas parties with family, friends, and even work colleagues, co-workers, and people eat and drink all the time. Um, and just to be merry, because sometimes we need that in life, especially when you're hardworking or you have children and you try to get away once in a while. It doesn't mean that you have to drink all the time, but the majority of people usually do, and most of us try. So when you're doing these two things, it's very important and um, pivotal that you follow rules and so that you're not in any problems. So when you eat and drink and get married, you also have to think. So it's important that we remember we can have fun, but we have to set limits if we are drinking and driving, which we shouldn't. But there's a amount that you can consume um, that's legal, and then you don't have to. You can get an Uber, which is preferable. I prefer if you're going out. Sometimes you're offered more drinks than one. If you're driving, say no. And if you don't drive, then that's great. Take an Uber when you go into places like this because you might end up drinking anyway. And so um, this is the reason why we have to set the limits on drinking and driving. Law enforcement are always on the alert during the holidays, especially for no seatbelt violations, speeders, including reckless driving, most importantly, driving while intoxicated. That's called a DWI. Driving under the influence, a DUI, and driving while ability impaired. It may sound the same like the other one, but they're all different in their own specifications. You can look that up. I'm not here to do that today, but driving while ability impaired is like you're able to drive, but you're not, um, what's the word I'm looking for? You're not in your right mind. that you can drive. You have the ability to do so. But any quick decisions being made while you're driving will definitely be spontaneous, and you don't want to be under the influence or um, impaired at any point in time, because you may have to stop at any moment, or someone before you may do something that gets in the way of what you needed to do. So you have to be attentive. Everyone knows everyone's not a great driver out here. We have a lot of people that cannot drive. So it's best that you be at your best ability to be able to drive and not be impaired. Sober was the word. Yes, that it's best that you be sober, whether it's drinking or whatever it is that you're under the influence of, which I hope you're not. There are actually usually checkpoints the week of the holidays. So that's another thing, because I was told always I'm given the head ups, even though I don't need to be given, because I follow rules, because I don't have time to be paying counties and states all these fine monies and being worried about suspensions, revocations. I don't have time for games. So instead of getting in all those things, I prefer not to, and just follow the rules and do what I need to do to get to my next destination. But there are usually checkpoints the week of the holidays. For instance, recently on Thanksgiving, law enforcement came out in the droves that weekend before Thanksgiving Day. So they're known to do that, so that they can check the perimeter that weekend and watch and analyze exactly where the checkpoints should be that they're going to set up. So this is exactly what they do on a holiday basis. They're going to make sure that they're checking where they're going to have a lot of people that will most likely be in any of the categories: no seatbelt, drinking, reckless driving, etc. What I just mentioned. But not funny. Yeah, funny but not funny. If you drive, don't drink. If you have an accident, you'll spill it. Cute, but I like that statement. But in all reality, let's just take Ubers, right? If you're gonna drink, if you can control your drinking, then it's different. But I suggest Ubers, and they make money this time of year anyway. But that's a cute joke. Thanks for sharing. And so, like I said, let me go back to they're out there in the droves on Thanksgiving Day, the week before, that weekend before. They'll start looking at the perimeters to see where they're going to set up for the week without you even knowing which checkpoints would be best to set up. So by the time the Thanksgiving Eve comes around and Thanksgiving Day and the day after, they have checkpoints. So they'll have like 3 or 2 different ones, so that you don't know where it is. Because if you know where it is, you're not going to go that way, right? I mean, it's simple, especially if you're drinking or doing drugs. What I did was create a list of do's and don'ts for driving during the holidays. And like I said, and I'll implement that again, I'm not giving you advice, only suggestions from my experiences, okay? One, do drive the speed limit, especially around the holidays, and do not go over 5 miles, because they can actually ticket you whether you think it's not speed. You are going over their limit, excuse me, or the limit, and 5 miles is. And just because it's the holiday, you may be a threat. So, and then they can pull you over to see if you're driving. So you're giving them the advantage to pull you over. So don't even do 5 miles if you can't. If you can't, and if you do, don't do over 5 miles of the speed limit. All right. Because going excessively over will alert police to you. And I wanted to make that clear, that when you think, why am I being pulled over? We've seen the worst drivers, that come into the courts, things like that become criminal cases, because they're driving around doing the worst things that can alert police, and you have suspended licenses. I don't get it. If you don't know that you have suspended licenses, then you need to check regularly with the DMV. I'm speaking for New York State only at this time. You would need to check within your state and what your DMV is called, where Pennsylvania is PennDOT, New Jersey's NJ dot. Everyone has their specific names. You would need to check with that online and stuff like that to see if I don't know if they charge you in your state, if your license is suspended. Now, if you know you have outstanding ticket and you haven't answered them, of course your license is suspended and you're driving around taking a risk of being arrested. Now, if you think you cleared it and you're not sure, check. It's always better to be sure and ready to check on things because it's never worth it. You may end up on one of the holidays um, in the jailhouse, waiting there to be proceeded for the process over something that's going to take longer to process than if you had cleared up your ticket. So you don't want to do that for the holidays, do you? It's not worth it. Some people don't even have the money to get out, so you got to think about those things. And so when I said that, do not do anything that will have the police alert to you. Do follow all driving rules you were taught before you got your licenses. A lot of people do not do that now. They're like, I got my license, I'm going to do what I want. And then when someone pulls them over, the officer, they're like, I don't know why you pulled me over, sir. Oh, okay, maybe sometimes we don't, but I'll get to that later. And before you get your license, do all the things like they tell you on your permit or wherever. Put on your seatbelt, fix your view window, wear your seatbelt. Signaling has to be done. No turn on red if they say don't turn on red. If you don't know if you can turn on red, then don't do it. If you do, if you do not, then this is an alert for police to pull you over, especially again during the season. Whether they meet their quotas or not, they're mandated to make sure that their job is to keep the roads and the public safe from drunk drivers so they do not hurt themselves and others. So basically, it's not about you only. So if you don't care about people and stuff like that, well, other people do. And we want to make sure the roads are safe, and that drunk drivers aren't on there or driving under influence. Because not only are we worried about the public, people do worry about you hurting yourself as well. Um, Another thing is, and it was really important, I notice a lot in the courts where I work. Well, I transferred from there, so I've worked in all parts. But the specific part, do have your car insurance paperwork. It's like some people don't realize that they need these documents. And up to date, along with your license, registration, and inspections. Keep them up to date, or any outstanding tickets. This would be the time to take care of it during the holidays. Start getting your paperwork together, or just go by Uber, bus, train, or whichever preferable. It's not worth it. Just don't come out with, oh, I'm going to just go over here because they're never going to pull me over. Yes, this is the time you can get pulled over by police. So because that's what they're out there for. They're going to check if you're drunk or if you're drinking, if you're seatbelt, if you're on the cell phone, which I didn't mention, but cell phone as well, texting, or anything dangerous during the holidays, because most people are getting merry, MERRY, and they are going to go on the roads that way. So this would be the time to take care of it, because of the chances of being pulled over by law enforcement is extremely high, especially around the holidays, as I said. And when there is a checkpoint, do not drive without your documents, because once you're pulled over, you're going to have to show, or with a suspended or revoked license, please stay home. I've seen it happen, and people act like they don't know why they were arrested. Yes, a revoked license, suspended registration, revoked registration is means of arrest to an officer, to take you in and get you off the streets. So if you thought that that's basically not a criminal action, it really is. So go look up. Me telling you it is, because the courts deal with this all the time, where people are oblivious to laws and they think this is not important enough. There are reasons why this is implemented. So go check it out and see why it is, or ask your DMV. But it definitely is the law that these documents be cleared. And if you haven't known that, I have another show on my videos about what can have you not just pulled over, have you arrested, that you thought was a traffic violation is a criminal offense and not a violation. There's difference between offense and violation. Maybe on my next legal show, not right now, but in the future, you keep watching, I'll bring that up to you. Um, so when it's a suspended or revoked license or registration, yes, it's a criminal offense. If you haven't cleared it with your DMV, um, I suggest you do that and take it seriously because, like I said, you can be arrested, and you should make sure everything is cleared up with them because law enforcement have the ability to check these things and outstanding warrants as well. They can see how long you have been suspended from the date. Sometimes, for instance, I've seen someone, they were able to not be arrested on a suspended license because maybe it was less than a month and you have time to take care of it. I'm not sure. It depends on your attitude and what you do. But if it's longer than a month, I assure you, you're going to prison that night. You didn't take care of it. You have no plans to, so they're taking you in. That's their job. They're supposed to. If they don't, thank God, because then you'll be giving a death ticket appearance to appear to clear it, to have it dismissed. Once you go back to DMV and clear it, they may dismiss it or they may just say pay the fine and go. Be careful of that because there's points on your license and you don't want a criminal offense to remain on a license. They probably would give you a violation instead of the criminal offense. So it's really sticky. Go see my other traffic rules, um, and know that what you plead guilty for and what not to plead guilty for. Because just pleading guilty to get it out the way or not pleading at all, there are consequences. Um, like I said, they can see how long you have been suspended or revoked from driving through this system called the NCIC database, which I know I've worked with, which means National Crime Information Center, aka National Criminal Database, along with the DMV database, and that they have access to because they are law enforcement, the courts as well. We have access to it and have this ability to do the same. They actually come to us. I've had where they said, does this person have a warrant? As we have capabilities within this court, and I'll go, let me check for you. And if it's there, they're coming. We got the addresses, we got everything. So you can fool the addresses and everything, but eventually they're going to get you through your DMV. There's something you have on file, and they're going to come for you. I mean, if you did something and you're hiding and sneaking away from it, it's not going to be hidden for long. So is that really worth it? I don't think so. But either way, some people think it is. And so those databases are in place. And so whatever you try to hide, now I see why a lot of people run off and they don't pull over um, to the side when the officers come because they know they have the ability. And this has happened to them before. For a refresher, read the driver's manual. It's there for a reason. Exactly. That's a good one. I didn't mention that, but that is really good. Read your manuals. Sometimes they're updated. You got online manuals. This is a new technology world. Everything is not manual anymore. It's more technology. You just go online, you pull up the DMV for your state, and things are in there. It's just that some people like to stay ignorant and act like they don't know what's going on. Well, why not educate yourself ahead of time? And it's available to everyone. And so, like I said, when I said they have the ability, the courts as well. Another one, pull pull over when approached by law enforcement. I was just saying that if if in an unmarked car though vehicle, I suggest for myself suggestion, not an advice, that ask the officer for his or her shield number and identification card. That identification card is his employment card. It'll say he's a police officer. His shield number will be on there, not just the shield. Because nowadays, I'm not sure, I don't think you're able to get shields like that anymore, but there are people that play in movies and they can get shields. So um, if it's an unmarked car, I suggest that you hold on and ask questions until for that officer to prove him or herself that they are actually an officer. That's very smart to do because you don't want someone pulling you over in an unmarked car saying they're an officer and they're not. All right. Also, those those are unmarked vehicles only. If you see a police car, a patrol car, don't act stupid like you don't know that's a real police. They're not going to be able to take a patrol car unless someone's on the run and stole it. So I'm talking about unmarked cars only. Okay, don't twist it. um, and like I said, as for their shield number and our the identification card, all right? Do not smoke marijuana or do drugs while driving, and do not have it in your car. Police will have the right to search your car, giving them probable cause to do so. Now, some states have this new marijuana law. I don't know what that law is in your state, but why smoke in your car in the first place? If you're gonna smoke, go home. Nobody needs to know your business. You don't have to go through all of that. But they do have the right to search your car if you give them probable cause. That's just one probable cause. Yelling and acting like you're gonna harm an officer is another probable cause. We could go on. Maybe I'll do a show on probable causes because a lot of people, I mean, we don't read enough books. We're more on TikTok and social media instead of giving good information. People like me, we don't get likes and follows. Most people that get those are people with stupidity, and no offense to you, but we don't have time for jokes. Things get serious. You go to prison, then you act like you didn't know what was going on. You need to listen to channels or read books more that are effective for your educational and knowledge, and things that are going to eventually be a part of your life. You're on the road. You know, eventually you're going to get pulled over, right? So these are nice tips, okay? So instead of watching the gyrating females and males that have nothing else to do but gyrate all day because nothing's upstairs, go watch the channels that can help you do a lot better. And I'm not making fun of them. I just said, what? I don't have time for that. That's like a waste of space here. But that a lot of you guys don't think it is, or girls, but that's you. I'm just warning you that at some point in time, you're going to need to educate yourself and become knowledgeable and read a book at least if you don't want to listen to anyone. Books are really good. And they have online ones too. So, and free ones. It's Script, I think it's called. You just have a membership, you get all these books. I'm not saying that publishers should not get paid for what they do, but some people don't have the money fee or means. So you pay, is it a monthly subscription? Is it a monthly subscription for Script?
Script, yeah.
Yeah, and they have some legal stuff in there. It's cheaper than buying each book. So for those that can't afford it, that's a good way of going into read a book instead of what we see happening there. Low vibration people that are never going to raise their vibrations to anything more than gyrating. But let's move on to real stuff now. So like I was saying, that you give them probable cause to do so, they will and be able, and you do not, they do not need a search warrant with probable cause. Go look that up. I guarantee you, as I work in the system, so I know. Number 5, do have your documents for the officer to verify when requested. Keep it in a safe place in one area so you are creating a safe space for you and the officer, because once you look like you're going everywhere, that officer doesn't know if you're reaching for a gun. And this is how a lot of accidents and stuff happen. Or shall I say, both sides not knowing what's going on with the other. Both are nervous, and he's carrying a gun. I hope you're not, unless it's licensed. And that it won't have any repercussions, because you followed the instructions to keep your hands where the officer can see them when reaching for the documents requested. Do not get argumentative with the officer, even if he or she pulled you over. It's not in your best interest. So stop in any matter to be rude at all. It may make matters even worse for you. They're in control. Unfortunately, yeah, we do have control of civilians, but the fact remains at that point of his job, he has control. So follow the rules, listen to what he says so that there's not a problem. It may make matters worse for you. to make it quick and easy so you both could go on your own way. And possibly, if you do the right thing, you can and may avoid a ticket. It depends on your attitude. So be smart. You know how they say, I work hard? No, you work smart. Um, be smart here, because that's the way that you're going to be. Sometimes you can get out of a ticket. I've done it. I've gotten out of several. Um, and my husband too. So, be having an attitude is not going to get you out of a ticket. First of all, I don't want to pay the county or the state, so I'm gonna do my best. You know, as long as he treat me respectable, I'm gonna treat him respectable, or her. You do have the right to ask the officer actually for the reason that you are being pulled over. I always do that. Also, he is supposed to provide you with an answer, so make sure. And that doesn't mean roughing him up. He's supposed to. You can tell him, you're supposed to provide me with an answer as you asking me for questions. I have to provide you with answers, and say it in a good way. Be professional. Okay, don't be street dogs, or what do they call these people? Um, from the hood, that doesn't know better. Anyone could come from the hood, but has some kind of respectability for yourself and for others. It doesn't matter where you were brought up. Respect yourself. And also, he's supposed to provide you, as I said, with an answer, and you have the right to get a badge number and name as well if you feel your rights are being violated. That does not mean that you don't like his or her answer, and then you're going to go, well, I don't like your answer, so I want you, because I've seen that happen, not only with the police, with the court. That's not what it's here for. We know you're not going to like our answer. That's not how you address complaints. It will be dismissed. Um, do not go on a shouting match with the officer. Both you and them should respect one another so the process goes smoothly. And so that's how you do it, like an adult, with professionalism. That's it. No one's going to win this game. It's not a game. You should do your part so you're not pulled over. Then you won't have to go through that. And if you are pulled over because of any other reason, race or something else, then you accordingly have to go through the court systems, the police. I'm going to say what to do now, but take it accordingly. Being a fool is by acting like a fool. When you can address this in the courts, you can address it with a review panel, and I'm going to explain that now. If you feel that you were not, if you feel that the officer was not following protocol, or using excessive force against you in any way that you feel that you've been that they've been using excessive force, you can file a civilian complaint against them. Go by the steps. Yelling and doing all of that will only get you arrested. Then they'll be believing that you're resisting arrest, and then you get yourself in all these problems. Let me show you one thing about this before I go down. When you're arrested and you get yourself in problems, you're the one that's not going to be able to feed your family. That arrest record, if you're convicted, stays on there. So how does that lead to something that's progressive? I don't get that, but there's a lot of people that don't think like that, and then they blame the system that they have all these records. No, maybe some, but majority does not. They do not follow rules, and this is why they end up with these records. And once you have those records, you cannot get a decent government job, corporation. You're going to be working, and I'm not putting down Burger King and all of those. And now they're even not allowing certain people to come in as well. So where are you going to feed your family with? Everything is not free here. I believe the welfare system also checks you. I don't know. I've never been there. I've worked my whole life. So you would want to check that before you start getting the records after record after record. If you feel that if you feel that um, that he was out of protocol, he wasn't working um, properly, again, the steps to take is in New York, you can file a civilian complaint against the officer, contact the Civilian Complaint Review Board, the CCRB, by calling 1-800-341-2272, or online or through their website. Oh, and you can also do by mail and phone, because that is important that you be able to, if you are really was treated very rudely and you felt that it was a need to. All right, because no one is above the law. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do things without going off like a maniac or an animal and act like you're presentable. Because it's not going to pay off, and the judge is going to look at you like, really? You did all of that for this? Okay. Because we've had people that we're looking at them like, seriously? Okay. And we know some people have mental disorders, so we're trying to help those people as well. If the police knows you have a mental disorder or if they feel you do, they're going to take it into their own hands as well. So, but like I said, they are not above the law. Take the procedures accordingly to what I said. These are suggestions and not advice. So this is Judge Desire for Knowledge. I will check you out on the next one. I believe I'll be doing Know Your Truth Real Talk this Saturday. If I don't upload it, I will be going live, but I have an event that day too. So if I could squeeze it in and come in live again, I will. I haven't done a live for a while. I've been around and around the Dominican Republic here and there, and I'm in North Carolina now. So by the end of this week, sometime when I can upload that, go check those Snap videos out. Great show. Thank you, love. Thank you, my supporter, my moderator. Thank you. Not for me, but thank you for always having my back. And so basically, I try to bring everything on legal matters that I can that I have addressed in courts and that has been addressed in real life experiences. And I thank you for watching. Share, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification button, and you'll know when I'm going on if you're available. Or look at the videos after I'm done if you want to. But they're very, very important to see that things that you thought was one way is not that way. It's a different way. And it's important to keep updated on that. And I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I hope you all have a great week. Be heading back to my spot soon. So I will upload everything and let you know. All right. I will be doing legal matters, as I say. Let me go over this again. Once a month for legal matters, usually at the end of the month. Know Your Truth Real Talk is every Saturday at 3. However, I've been out and about travel, so I've been doing that. That's another one. And you can check my shorts. I have grilling shorts. I have It Is What It Is shorts. And sometimes outdoor, I'm out and about, travels on the shorts too. So come check those shorts out. If you see me around, say, hey, hi, Judge Desire for Knowledge, how you doing? And I'll be saying hello to you as well. Hi, hola, whatever, in whatever language. Just know that I'm there and I'll help you out by giving you suggestions and not advice. So I won't be copyright for this show, would I, YouTube? Thank you. No music. All right, so I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for joining my show. I look forward to seeing you all on the next few shows. And if I haven't said it, subscribe, like, and share. Ciao.